Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, the podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. In our Game Week 5 Unwrapped video, the FPL Affairs Lion and myself analyse our team selections, their impact on our ranks, and the week's admin's good, the bad, and the ugly awards. We also reflect on FPL Affairs Peacock's wildcard that he played last week and if it paid off. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for all of our content, and if you click the bell for the notifications, you'll get something when we release something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Kayo Saka. That is a diamond of a goal.
Right, hello everybody. Welcome to the latest video from the FPL Affairs podcast, and it is the Game Week 5 Unwrapped with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, and Bossman Lewis, aka the FPL Affairs Lion. How are you this week?
Yeah, all good, mate. Ready to crack through our teams from game week 5.
Yes, we will also be reviewing FPL Affairs Peacock Andrew his wildcard team from Game Week 5, which he was planning to be here, but unfortunately last minute changes of plans meant he could not. But either way, we thought it would be nice to speak about that. And
Yeah.
spoiler alert, you might guess how it went, the fact that I'm wearing in honour of him a Leeds shirt. Okay, we best get started. All right, Game Week 5 Unwrapped. I've put two players on the thumbnail that had sort of contradicting weeks.
Yeah.
Martinelli, which I'm sure you will talk about at some point this evening, and also put on Cole Palmer because whereas later we'll be speaking about potential wildcards for Game Week 6, and initially Palmer was going to be nailed on pick for those, but then having Maresca announcing that since the Club World Cup, he's got an underlying groin issue. It's sort of question marks
Yeah.
with that 20th minute or 21st minute substitution against
Yeah.
United. And he did not look a happy bunny. So that is something we'll come on to later. But anyway, Peacock's wildcard team. So the team he went with, he had Sales in goal with Dubravka on the bench. My word, it would have been painful if he had Sanchez. Back three, he started Lacroix, Romero, and Van der Ven. On the bench, Senesi and Rodon. First of all, thoughts on that defence?
Yeah, double Spurs away at Brighton. That got killed quite early. I was on that as well. Same with Sells again. He still hasn't had any clean sheets this season. But I mean, I think on Saturday, I don't think there was one clean sheet actually, was there?
No,
Off from memory, I don't think
no, there
you're not
wasn't.
going to see. Yeah, you're not going to see any defender points really, apart from those that scored or picked up the defcons. So yeah, obviously that's not where he got his points this week, but then neither did most people. So
Mm. Unfortunate, to be fair, that he got nine Senesi 9 points on the bench, clean sheet in
yeah,
both.
that must have been a bit of a sickener for him on the Sunday. I think because he had a good week overall, that might not bother him too much. But yeah, still a painful one.
Yeah. Midfield, he's gone for Salah, Semenyo, Xavi, Reinders, and Caicedo.
Yeah, I mean Simmons is an interesting one because quite a few people have jumped on him already, which I understand because he definitely looks lively, but he'd already played twice in, what was it, 5 days. I was not surprised to see him benched this week.
Mm.
With the amount of options they have on that left wing, I think Spurs fans probably expected him to play, but I wasn't that convinced. But yeah, he'll be a bit gutted that he got 1 pointer there. But yeah, overall, it's a good wild card. He's got players there that he can hold for, 5, 10, 15 game weeks without having to worry. So yeah, he'll be pleased with that.
And up front three of Haaland, João Pedro, and Isidore of Sunderland.
Yeah, honestly, I hadn't even heard of Isiodor before this weekend. I thought they had is it Mayenda up front?
Yeah,
Um,
that did
yeah,
well in the
so
championship last season.
yeah, and he had a decent start to this season by all accounts. So where he's plucked that pick out from, I've got no idea. But obviously he got a 9 pointer, which was good. It's a good sign that he can
Mm.
play and score. But um, the weeks that you're going to need him, is he going to pop up? Hopefully for Andy, he will. But
Yeah, we shall see. So busy bench. Um,
yeah,
Stats wise, 52 points overall. His safety score was 43,
hmm
so 9 point, um, 9 points above his safety score, and he had a whopping 24 on the bench.
yeah.
Shame with the wild card he couldn't bench boost as well, but uh,
It's one of them. Points on the bench is never nice, but if you look at it glass half full, it's a good sign that you've got players on the bench that can score points. So
mm,
that's how
true.
I would look at it.
And that moved him from just under 4.4 million to 3.2 or
Yeah,
3.25, which is a change of 25%. Game week overall rank of 2.1 million. So
yeah,
I would say it's quite a satisfying, successful wildcard for the first week.
yeah. Decent start. As with all wild cards, you won't really know whether it was good or bad decision until 10, 15 weeks time. But yeah, a good start.
Yeah, solid start. And looking at the defense, the likes of Senesi, Lacroix, Romero, it's got
Mm,
some DEFCON
yeah,
players in there. Caicedo, DEFCON
yeah,
Pete. Semenyo actually got DEFCON against Newcastle, and Reinders got DEFCON against Arsenal.
yeah. And the
So
other thing I like, aside from probably Isidore and yeah, maybe just him, but they're mostly nailed players, aren't they, going forward? So,
yeah,
you know, most weeks he can not
mm,
sweat too much on lineups and stuff. I mean, Reinders is looking as nailed as possible for a Man City mid
mm,
at the moment.
yeah,
Semenyo's going to play every week. Caicedo's going to play every week. Um, the defenders, minus maybe Van der Ven, who might get rotated for the odd game, but yeah, he's. I think with any team now, you just want as many players that you don't have to worry about being
yeah.
rotated, and he's got a good bunch there. So
Mm. Should we move on to yours?
yeah, go for it.
Talk us through it.
So I got, is that 40 points? I can't see under the badge. Yeah,
Yeah,
40. So yeah, crap defense, but star of the week for me was Nico Williams. He's someone that I've had in all season. I thought he'd have a good season this year with attacking returns and stuff, and it's taken 5 weeks, but he did finally get a goal. So he kind of saved the week. Pedro Porro with a 1 pointer, Van de Ven with a 1 pointer, Sells in goal who got one save point, so not the end of the world. Midfield, Elliot Anderson hit his defcons this week, and I had him in the lineup, so that's nice to see. Gakpo with a 2 pointer. Rice somehow got a 3 pointer against Man City. I think he picked up one bonus in that game. Brennan Johnson, so he was a player that I bought in last week, and he's given me two 1 pointers, so he's been an absolute disaster. The only silver lining with that is when I bought Johnson in, it was between him, Morgan Rogers, and another mid for a similar price, and actually all three of them have blanked in the 2 weeks. So I would have owned all of them, so it hasn't actually
mm,
turned out as bad as it could have been. Gyökeres with a blank against Man City. He didn't really get many chances in the game. I think he had a low XG again, but
mm,
I haven't got any concerns about Gyökeres. I think over a long term, I think he will deliver. And Ollie Watkins, my captain, uh, delighted to see Sunderland go down to 10 men so early. I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll get a goal or an assist here at some point. But yeah, it didn't come. So he blanked and gave me 4 points. And then I did have Haaland, couldn't captain him against Arsenal, even though I've captained him every week until now. Just pleased to have him in the team actually, because yeah, he got 9 points. He scored. I was then going to say that for Andy's team actually, because he captained Haaland, and obviously there's if you see Haaland score after 11 minutes or whatever it was, he would have been he'd have been well happy with that. So yeah, 40 in total. I was actually looking at this week as kind of like a grey arrow week anyway.
mm.
Um, So I was happy to get through it just with 40 really. So yeah.
Bring your data up.
Yeah, so 2.5 million I was at, and I'm now 2.9 million. So yeah, a very smallish drop, but no concerns. And patience is the key, I think.
Mm, yeah, I think
What were your thoughts on that team? Were you surprised that I benched Saliba, or would you have probably done the
mm,
same thing?
I would have probably done the same. I think because I wasn't too sure from I think the press of whether he was going to play or not and his return from
Yeah,
injury. So
yeah,
and Nico Williams I would have played. Eight Nouri's obviously injured.
yeah,
Um, so
yeah. It was Saliba or Johnson. I was coin tossing on, and I was hoping Johnson might get a start on the left
mm,
wing, but he went with Odobert. But yeah, not too much damage done. Eight Nouri's a bit of a shame that he's a 6 million defender and he's missed sort of half the matches already, which is a bit of pain. So I might have to
mm.
look to move him on next week to get some money back in the defence. But
I
yeah,
think
I'll keep an eye on that.
captaincy. I think captaincy. Looking at yours, there's no. I know Haaland's been on form,
Yeah,
um, but that to me looks like it would have been a hard call because you've got two of your three forwards are head to head, and both of them have got reasonably solid defenses. Watkins, Sunderland are a bit hit and miss at the moment.
mm,
Um, well, maybe that's a bit harsh, but they've been reasonably solid defensively, and Watkins has blanked every game.
yeah,
But then from the midfield, Liverpool midfield and Gakpo's looking more and more likely that it's going to be the in past years Pep roulette. So
yeah,
it'll be a sort of slot roulette with the attacking positions, um,
yeah,
depending what he utilises on the left.
yeah. I mean,
Anderson's a,
as you can see, I vice captain Gakpo because he was my
mm,
next. Genuinely, he would have been my next one. After that, honestly, I wouldn't have had any idea. But
yeah,
if I owned Salah, I would have definitely captained Salah this week if I had him. Because as I said, I was never going to captain Haaland against my beloved Arsenal. So it was between Watkins and Gakpo, and they
mm,
scored the same points. So I'm not going to lose any sleep over that.
true. Right, I'll move on to mine. Emotional roller
Yes.
coaster.
How'd you
Um,
do?
41 points. Um, obviously the 7 point goalkeeper swing when you sort of right, shall I play Dubravka? Shall I play
Oh yeah,
Sanchez? And then going with Sanchez because
painful. Was
well,
that was that a close call for you? Like, were you like
yeah,
50-50 on that, or wait, yeah,
um, yeah, I definitely did consider it. So it was a bit of a kick in the teeth. I'm frustrated
mm,
with the Murillo pick this season. So I
yeah,
benched him because of the availability thing, and he wasn't in the squad. So
mm,
that was the good call to make.
yeah,
But then my other four defenders, Richards and Anderson, who I started with, they both reached DEFCON. Um, Porro was a one pointer,
yeah,
and certainly I don't like you now. You're not doing as much set pieces, and you're not getting as much DEFCON as fellow Spurs defenders that are
yeah,
cheaper.
yeah,
And then Stev gets DEFCON as well in the 1-1 draw.
yeah,
So
mm,
I was never going to play him anyway. So that back three wasn't difficult
yeah,
choosing. It was the Sanchez or Dubravka. Um, and with both of them, Sanchez, Arsenal were playing Man United. So I would have had Sanchez up against Fernandez. And
yeah,
the alternative was Wood and Anderson. So the two of them against Dubravka.
yeah.
So that was kind
I,
of partly,
I didn't think that Burnley were going to keep a clean sheet at all. So looking at your team, I would have done exactly the same thing. I mean, Sanchez and Dubravka was a close one, but I didn't think Burnley would keep a clean sheet against Forest. No way. So picking Sanchez for me was the right call. For him to obviously get a red card in the first 10 minutes, whatever it was, is nothing but bad luck. Really, you can't predict that. So don't be too harsh on yourself with that. And you're never going to start a step over Pedro Porro,
mm,
in virtually any game. So
no. And then in midfield, Salah captain, Bruno Fernandes, Elliot Anderson for his DEFCON, Semenyo for his DEFCON and clean sheet, which I was actually satisfied in as a Newcastle fan and watching it. To be honest,
Mm.
he didn't look that great, and I think that largely credit goes to Eddie Howe and our how our defence is set up. That's three away games we've played this season. All three have been
Yeah,
goalless draws.
yeah.
Um, the and with generally those expected goals against have been really low and low XG.
And that
Um,
was with mass rotation as well, wasn't it? Because he
seven
had to
changes.
rest. Yeah, exactly. He had to rest a lot of them lads that played the Barca game. And when I looked at the lineups and saw that, he was playing that 3-5-2 or whatever, however it shows
Mm.
on live score, I knew it was going to be a tight kind of 0-0, 1-0 type of game. And as a non-Semenyo owner, I was quite pleased to see that Howe was going to go defensive again. And yeah, obviously they kept Semenyo very quiet, didn't they?
Yeah, I largely got him the other week because he was rising up, and a couple of weeks ago he like returned every game, and I just thought, well, regardless of this one, if Bournemouth are going to get anything, he's going to be involved somehow.
Yeah,
But hopefully it's quiet.
he's a
So
good pick. He's not going to return every week, but he's a good pick. And if he picks up defcons on the weeks that he doesn't score,
mm,
then you're
so yeah,
laughing. So
that was a pleasant surprise. And
mm,
then my goal scoring or lack of front line continues. Um, whichever front line, whichever attacking players, uh,
mhm,
forwards that I've picked this season, I have 0 goals in total, and I have
mm.
one assist, which was João Pedro, who I brought in last week.
Last week,
Um,
yeah.
so that's the only attacking return from my three forwards I've had.
Maybe you should just start playing a 5-4-1 every week and just
Yeah,
hope
yeah, yeah. That's my
5-4-1. Put like a Burnley striker up front and just pack the defence and midfield with premiums and defcon monsters.
yeah, yeah. With Haaland being
Yeah.
the sole centre forward. Um,
What was the Reinders bench decision then? So that was between him and Anderson, I take it, or
Him and Anderson, yeah.
yeah,
It was largely because Reinders was playing Arsenal and
yeah.
his only real attack in return, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, was in game week
Game
one.
week one. Yeah,
So I just thought, and the fact that Arsenal in all competitions have
yeah.
conceded 1 goal, which was the Szoboszlai direct free kick.
Mm,
Um, I was thinking,
yeah,
he's even with Haaland on the form he's on at the moment, I thought it would be a low scoring affair with
yeah,
Arsenal's defence. And if City get one,
yeah,
the likelihood of Reinders being involved would be small.
yeah.
But how
Turns
wrong
out
was
that,
I? Um,
yeah. Yeah, I think logical decision, 100%. Man City were never going to score more than one in that game, really. And
mm,
for you, you just, like you said, you hope if they do score 1 goal, the two people you don't want involved is Haaland and Reinders. And unluckily for you,
mm.
it was
And
Reinders to Haaland.
the
So,
at the kickoff for the Arsenal Man City game,
yeah,
um, I was green arrowed by 8 points going into
okay.
that game. And because of that combined goal,
Yeah,
um, I dropped down to 1 point red arrow
yeah,
from that. Um, so yeah, my total was 41 points, safety score 42, 17 points on the bench with the double Burnley and Reinders assist and bonus. My rank basically changed by 15,000
thousand.
spots.
Yeah,
So basically a grey arrow from
yeah,
5.94 million to
I'd consider that a
5.9
grey arrow.
5.95, so a change of 0.25%. Game week rank of 6.7 mil. So yeah,
Mate,
um,
your luck has got to turn soon. I think, every week it's like 50-50 going against you or
mm,
benching calls and stuff. But yeah, that'll turn, I'm sure.
mm. Well, I have spoiler alert activated my wild card.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I thought about it Saturday night,
Yeah.
But then thought I don't want to do it mid game week in case um, certain players I would have definitely brought in,
Mm,
um, like with Palmer, because I had provisionally thought, depending how the game week went in,
yeah.
um, he'd be on the draft. But then hearing post match that he wasn't, it was the thought of right, okay, and actually we'll go more on this when we
Later,
do
yeah.
talking points. But yeah, it's active, and I'll give the reasons why. Um,
I think you'll be one of many that wild card this week.
mm,
It's looking like I think it's everyone that has Salah and doesn't have Haaland is looking at this as the easiest way to
mm,
just flip that around, get Haaland in, sell
mm,
Salah. For the next few weeks, Haaland looks like a better pick than Salah, and it also
mm.
gives you a chance to
and
move
and
out.
that
I take it the Forest assets are coming out.
possibly
Yeah,
I'll let you know in that. But
yeah, okay, no
the
spoilers, but yeah,
going into game week 5, the plan had been to transfer Haaland in. So I rolled my transfer
right,
with the initial plan that it would be Salah out, Haaland in for free.
yeah,
And I had provisionally actually looked at Xavi Simons as the Salah replacement. And
okay,
the other thing actually, which is why I didn't hit the wild card on um, Saturday night or make the changes, was I was undecided about whether it would be Watkins or Wood that would be leaving, um, based on both. But I'll go into my thoughts then. So moving on to the good, the bad, and the ugly, admin's
yeah,
weekly awards. And confessions, and I apologize, I have forgotten to partly update the slide because we mentioned last week we did all of last season admin team of the week. So whichever one of our admin members got the most points. So I was going to add that to the slide, as well as the good, the bad, and the ugly, which are based on more decisions rather than who gets the most points that week and who gets the least. And
mhm,
I will lay credit to FPL Focal, who posted on Twitter this thing he'd got from somewhere that
yeah,
was twat of the week.
okay,
And the twat stood for the worst active team of the week. So it is
okay,
technically an abbreviation rather than just being rude, but I thought
yeah, but
that made me laugh, so I'll add that to it as well. But the good,
double meaning, yeah,
yeah, the good this week goes to a good wild card. So that goes to FPL Affairs Peacock. Round of applause for that.
and he's not even here to
And
collect, not even here to collect his
I
award.
know,
Shameful.
I know he'll have to. I'll mention later about when we're hoping
Yeah,
he'll next be on. And actually, yet another apology. I didn't start the slide with our team of the week. That goes to our league leader, Mohammed, with 60, 61 or 62 points, I think he got.
yeah,
So he's now inside the top 200k. No, 164k in the world,
good
61k
on
he
him.
this week. He did the Dubravka, started Dubravka over Sanchez.
Sanchez. Hmm.
That was a big shout for that.
Yeah,
And that was largely it, really, because who did he captain? Um,
Semenyo.
yeah, he captained Semenyo.
Yeah, a few
So,
people did.
but either way, he got team of the week with the most points. Peacock got the good choice of the week with his wildcard. The
Yeah.
bad, this one I actually found really tricky to select this because I was looking through everyone's captain choices, and I think all of them you'd have strong arguments and reasons behind those decisions. So I
Hmm.
thought, well, I can't do bad captaincy. Transfers people made were actually quite sensible ones, not too completely out there. So I couldn't do that. Couldn't do twat of the week, in theory. Um, and that was the only reason. The person that's awarded the bad was because I could literally think of nothing other than the lowest points tally. of the week.
Mm.
So that goes to the FPL Affairs hot dog, I'm afraid. Nothing personal there. It was just literally, I could not decide who had the fewest. Um,
That's Dave, isn't it? Yeah.
um, no, that's Mark.
Oh, smart, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because when we were discussing the animals, he said he was a hot dog,
Yes.
alternative meaning, but you know,
Yeah. Work. It works.
alternative meaning. Yeah, you've
It
got to go
works.
with it. Choice of words. He meant it most probably in the context of um, well, level of attractiveness or something. So I managed to wean it towards the sausage dog. Anyway, moving on to the ugly. The ugly, my reason for this shout was because the person who it will be awarded to made some good decisions. One transfer went really well, but
Mm.
then captaincy went really badly. So I'm awarding,
Palmer, maybe.
pardon?
Mm. Was that a Palmer captain, possibly,
No, it
or not?
wasn't.
No.
It was um
I saw a
scrolling.
few people captain Palmer this week, and they actually transferred him in. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that would have been an
Um
ugly.
it was a Chris Wood captaincy, so he probably knows already. And although his transfer was really positive, the captaincy, he actually didn't realise he hadn't changed it.
Oh,
Um, I can't remember who he said. I think he said he was going to switch it to Salah, but he forgot. So the ugly goes to the FPL Affairs Weasel, I'm afraid, to say to him.
oh,
Yeah. And
how?
twat of the week goes to the FPL Affairs Hot Dog again with 36 points. Um,
Okay.
I came close to thinking, and this could be a discussion point in itself,
Mm.
is FPL Affairs Rooster, Dave,
Mm.
got 40 points, but he took a hit, which meant he finished on 36 as well. So in that respect, I could have given the um, twat of the
Yeah, that
week
could have been a tie, couldn't it?
to
For
him. Yeah. So I could have put both. But then I looked at his reasoning behind the hit, and it was to do Watkins and Verts out and bring in Haaland and Semenyo.
oh, they were sensible moves then, really.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, it was tricky this
And
week.
also that score is actually not hardly much lower than yours or mine, really. It's not like everyone got
No,
50s and 60s and he got 36. Like
no,
it was
and
generally a low scoring week unless
yeah,
people played bench boosts and stuff. So
quickly or captaincy on Haaland, for example. But
yeah,
scrolling up, yeah, Weasel got 39. Um,
yeah,
Hippo, Kieran got 41.
yeah.
I got 41. Mark got 36. Barry got 48. Andrew's
Mm.
52. You 40. Um, Mick, who was previously top, he got 44. So similar. And to be fair, we have got quite different teams.
Yeah, that's the weird thing this week that everyone has got quite different teams, but
Mm,
equally we all managed to end up on similar amounts,
mm,
apart from your wild carders and obviously Mohammed, who's on a good run at the moment. So
yeah. So
interesting.
yeah, how to get in touch with us. That wraps up our sort of team review, our teams unwrapped. Gmail, FPL Affairs, all lowercase, no um, dots or punctuation at gmail.com. On X, our handle is FPL Affairs. Facebook group, which Lewis set up. If you search in the groups, just put FPL Affairs, we should pop up. Alternatively, in the loop links, facebook.com/group/fantasy Premier League FPL1, all lowercase, no punctuation. YouTube channel at FPL Affairs is the handle. Don't forget the at. I tried that once and couldn't find us and would start panicking that the channel had disappeared. And the lengthy Spotify one. Um, and you'll notice on the screen are league codes which are still open, the classic one and the challenge one, I believe. So, final thoughts on team selections and team reviews of either yours, mine. Peacocks, anyone else's?
It's the week of the Leeds man, isn't it? He activated that wild card as we discussed last Monday when he was sitting in his car outside his house, and
Yep. True.
he talked about it and he had the courage to go through with it, and so far so good. So yeah, well done, Andrew.
Yes, well done to him. So I think all that's left to say, other than please like the video and subscribe to our channel for all the content and stuff, and especially one thing which we're excited about is this episode is 98, our Talking Points wildcard special going from Game Week 5 to 6. It's episode 99, and we're doing a super special tomorrow, which I will give a spoiler alert in our next video. So all that's left to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps and possibly wildcards or chip strategies until the next deadline. Thank you, Lewis, and I'll see you again shortly. Bye bye.